This is Ken Lingenfelter from the Lingenfelter collection. I was talking to my buddy Terry Cargus at the Petersen last week, and we talked that it might not be a bad idea, since we're all locked down, to kind of send a quick video of a little bit of what we have here at the Lingenfelter collection. First, let me say to you that our goal with the collection here is that we're focused on keeping this place as a venue for charity fundraisers. That's always been the mission of the collection. It works very, very well. And typically what we'll do is we'll represent groups like the American Cancer Society. Ronald McDonald House is one of our favorites. Also, the Pink Fund during Breast Cancer Awareness Week. But that's just to name a few of a whole bunch of additional charities that we try to work with and raise funds with. So we're going to walk through the collection here. We'll stop at a few of the cars that are more notable, just to give you a general idea about what we have here, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So one of the things we like to make sure everybody gets a chance to see are products that Lingenfelter Performance Engineering builds. That's my company, and we have a row of cars here that are pretty significant cars. They're examples of cars we build for customers. There are cars that we like to take to shows, and so we'll take a quick look at some of the cars that are here. So one of the first cars I want to talk about is this Grand Sport Corvette replica. We work with Lance Stander over at Superformance, and obviously they've got a great organization, and they get the body work done on these cars. Comes to us as a rolling chassis. We add the engine, and in this one we've put one of our old school type engines, and it's kind of fun. See if we can take a look at it here. Obviously, you can either go old school or new school with these cars, but this one is a dual quad setup and really looks pretty well and gets a lot of attention just about at every show we take it to. Walking down here, I just have to point out to you, this is my daily driver last summer. As you all know, I'm a big Corvette guy, and this is a 2019 ZR1. And I have to tell you, I'm enchanted with this car. I've owned a lot of Corvettes over the years, and this is by far the best Corvette I've ever owned. This is just the factory car. We haven't done anything to modify it. 755 horsepower right from the factory, and manual transmission, and it is a pure blast to drive. So ZL1 Camaro 1LE has our 720 performance upgrade on it. Amazing car. This is basically a race car right from the factory. It comes with about 640 horsepower, but we can pretty easily get it up to 720. C7 Corvettes are amazing. We can make 1100 horsepower with the Z06 LT4 motor. This is our 1100 horsepower Z06. We take this thing to shows. It has our new Eliminator series engine in it, and we get a lot of attention when we take this car to a show. And I have to show you this one too, because this is really a fun car. This is the Chevrolet SS. You know, they built these things down in Australia through the Holden company, and we haven't done much with it. It's a manual car. I had to put headers and exhaust because I like the noise, and it's a really, really fun car to drive. So the collection's really filled with cars that I like. I mean, they're not necessarily all Chevrolets, all convertibles, all sports cars. The cars here are cars that I've just liked over the years, and as a result, it's quite a variety. A lot of people say it's an eclectic collection, but there's some really unique cars here. This is a bidder. You don't see very many of these around. As you move down the lane here, that 850 BMW, I just love the style of those cars when they came out. The 928, I've owned a lot of 928s over the years. Really, really enjoy those. The Silver Solstice here, that's another Lingenfelter product. We've taken the time to do an LS3 in this car. We built a number of these cars for customers. Maybe I can lift the hood for you and just let you see what a neat little package this is. So Pontiac Solstice with an LS3 making well over 500 horsepower. The Solstice next to us here just happens to be Jazz. Jazz was the one of the Transformers monsters. I bought this car at a Barrett-Jackson auction. When the kids come in, they recognize it right away. I have never seen a Transformers movie, so I really can't comment, but it's kind of a fun car here to have here in the collection. So this is our Indy car. Actually, it's just back from Dallara. It got a redo. Mostly it's here because we're always trying to find ways to get kids interested in cars going forward when they visit our charity events. And so my goal with this car, once we have it in place, is to let kids sit in it and let their parents take pictures in it. I absolutely love the Indianapolis 500 and open wheel racing, and frankly was supposed to attend my 42nd Indy 500 in a row this in the weeks ahead here, but they postponed it, so I'm still looking forward. I'll be there, but anyway, this I think will be a real fun addition to the collection. So back in the day, I really kind of fell in love with the Shelby Series 1. I ordered this car brand new. Not the best fit and finish car, lots and lots and lots of power. Actually, they had a program that went along with this car. You spent a day on the track with one of their trainers, and mine happened to be Davey Hamilton, the IndyCar driver. And Davey and I have had a friendship ever since then, and it's one of the things and one of the memories I have that really fits with this car. Along the wall here and further down, these are just some additional cars again that I liked. Back in the day when Pontiac went away, we were pretty disappointed that in the performance company we weren't going to be able to do Firebirds. And so I got together with our guys and we decided we'd build our own. And so you'll see the white Trans Am here. That car was a collaboration of our guys talking about what we thought the Firebird should have been. We all like the single headlight car, we like the honeycomb wheels, we like the shaker hood and the white with the blue. So this is a combination of what we really thought the Firebird should have been. A couple more exotics here. This is California Turbo T, the new NSX, and then down on the end we have one of the 20 Lamborghini Reventons that were built. Once again, I got this car and ordered it when they became available. I was fortunate enough to have a pretty good relationship with Lamborghini at the time. Stefan Winkelmann made sure that I got one of these cars when they decided to build them. And it's really, really a very, very high point in the collection here. The Colorado here is another one of our Lingenfelter products. You know, this is an amazing truck directly from the factory. General Motors did an amazing job on it. And but even with all of the engine packages, it's always just a little bit underperforming. So we worked with our partners at Eldebrock and developed a supercharger system. And so this truck is supercharged. We have a 50-state legal certification on it. We can build it with 400 horsepower. We can build it well over 500 horsepower. So really fun truck to build. We like to refer to this room as the Corvette Room. We've got other cars in here right now. What's interesting about it is that typically when we do our charity work, things are in place and a little neater than they are on a day like today. But we can walk around the cars just a little bit. But this whole row of cars here on the side, these are the first gen Corvettes. A couple of notables. This is one of, we're told, two basically C1s. It's supercharged, believe it or not. The supercharger gave it a whole additional 10 horsepower on the Blue Flame 6. These are some additional cars. This is basically another 53. This was an engineering car at General Motors also. We have very little background on it, but we've got it here in original condition. Interestingly enough, it has dual quads on it and a 4-speed transmission, so we think they were looking ahead a little bit. This 54 Corvette is from the styling department. It's a concept car. You'll notice the blade on the headlights here. The color was Sahara Silver, which was kind of unique. The car has a center console in it, some other interior design concepts that were supposedly are going to be used in the future, so it's a very special car to own here. This next car is the Duntov Mule car. This car is pretty famous. It's considered one of the 50 most significant Corvettes ever built. Smokey Yanick built the V8 engine, and there's some great pictures of this car with Zora driving it during its development. Did 150 miles an hour out at Daytona. So we've shown this car pretty much all over the country at one point or another. This is another concept car. This car basically was built to go around to the Motorama shows. We just brought this back from Amelia Island. It spent 6 months at the Audrey Museum in Newport, Rhode Island. We won a nice award with it at Amelia Island. You'll notice the fastback on the car. Really, really attractive. Sure wish they would have built this car back in the day. But interestingly enough, they called it a Corvair back then. Another Motorama car. Again, these Corvettes are Corvettes that were my favorites from back in the day. We do have a rebodied C5 Corvette here that was built by my friend Steve Pasteiner. Steve was a designer from General Motors. He built a series of these cars off of C5s. I think the total bill was maybe about 270 between convertibles, and there were 14 Nomad wagons, and so this is a special car as well. I like to park it with the old cars because it helps justify why they did that build. This 63 split window, this might be my favorite car in the collection, only from the standpoint that I was 10 years old when I saw this car for the first time. Not this particular car, but a 63 split window. This split window Fuelie was, I think, probably about the nicest 63 split window I've ever found. My dad was a Fisher Body employee and took me to an open house when I was 10 years old, and I saw this car and it just took the legs right out from underneath me. I was already a car guy, but this car turned me into a Corvette guy for life. A couple more rebodied cars. This car was built by my friend Doug Graff from Classic Reflections Coach Works up in Lakewood, Washington State. Rebodied C6 car. Get all the conveniences and the safety features of a C6, but the split window Corvette body. The next car is a Carl's custom car. Same basic thing. This has our Lingenfelter 660 horsepower naturally aspirated 427 engine in it, and it sounds wonderful. Okay, so these are some more unique rebodied cars. I get teased a lot by this car. It's called a Cabalista. There were 50 of them built. I'm told Les Denham built this car. He was the guy that built the Eldorados for the movies Shaft and Superfly. It's pretty extreme, and I think my non-car guy friends think I need psychiatric help when they see this car, but there are probably only about 2 left, and I think it's so ugly that it's cool. Another rebody car from CRC, my friend up in Lakewood, Washington State, and another Pasteiner car, C5 rebody Corvette in the original 53 colors with white and red with a convertible top. So this is my new C8 Corvette. We just got it a couple weeks ago. Obviously, we're real interested in getting it into our engineering department to just see what we can do so far as improvements for performance. But I'm ready to take it out and start my 500 miles on it. Plan is to take it out today. I'm a white with red guy, so these are my Corvette colors, and I can't tell you how anxious I am to get on the road with this thing. In Lingenfelter Performance Engineering, we were very, very proud of the fact that we could do twin turbos and make a whole bunch of power back with the C5 and C6 Corvettes. These are some examples of some of those cars. They've spent some time in the Corvette Museum, and they're back in the collection right now. This is a wide-body C5. This is one of 10 commemorative cars we built. This is a very special C5 Corvette. We call it the Blue Angels car. We raced the Blue Angels jet team with this car on the quarter mile for Motor Trend TV years ago, and we smoked them on the quarter mile, but they kind of caught up with us after that, obviously. We developed a relationship with the Blue Angels jet team at that time also. And what's fun about that is they fly in an air show down south of us here every summer, and we invite them up for a dinner. We politely show the video where we smoked them on the quarter mile as part of the whole thing. But it's a very fun car to own, and 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds for this thing. And we did this a number of years ago, so this is a pretty special car. It's a Pratt Miller car. You know, for a while back in the middle 2000s, they were building basically production cars for people to take out and use. This was a great idea. It resembles the race car in a lot of different ways. And had the recession not been coming, I think this would have been a very successful car. I think they only built about 8 of these cars, and Jay got the first one, I got the second one, and there are a few more, but that was it. They stopped building them due to the recession. So Reeves Callaway and I are pretty good buddies, and Reeves has had some cars that I've always really gotten a kick out of as well. And so we've got a number of Callaway cars here. This is a C16. This car was, I don't know, I guess Reeves and I just kind of decided that this would be a great color combination to put in one of these, and we've had it right since it's been new. This is a C5 Corvette that has got a completely carbon fiber body. Reeves called them C12s. Was also referred to as inky blue, and gets lots of attention here in the collection. If you get up close, you can see the car's not painted. It's been covered with clear coat with a blue tint, and you can see the weave of the carbon fiber through the whole car. So this is a C16 Speedster. There's only one of these. I can remember spending a lot of time on the phone with Reeves when we built this car. We actually showed it off at Pebble Beach one year on the lawn right out in front of the lodge before the SEMA show. So it also gets a lot of attention. C4 Speedster, and one of a very few Camaros that Callaway built back in the day. We kind of refer to this room as the muscle car room, although there are a lot of examples of other cars. I mentioned earlier that my dad was an employee with Fisher Body, and his plant was responsible for the building of the Olds Toronado. This Toronado I found years ago out in Colorado, and it's probably about one of the nicest ones you'd ever want to find. Toronados were amazing cars, front wheel drive, flip up headlights. The car next to it is a GT, which they built very few of. I didn't even remember or know that they did, but it's a 1970 Toronado GT. The 442 here is as close as I could find to my very first car. Mine did not have a vinyl roof, but it's in fawn beige. Again, a 442. When I was a teenager, I got in a lot of trouble with this car, as you can probably imagine. This is a really unique car. This is an Eldorado Cadillac. There were 30 of these built for Pierre Cardin. This was a time when the designers were all building their own cars, and so it's a pretty special car. There's some other unique cars down here. Some of you may recognize this Camaro, very famous Camaro built by General Motors. This came out of the Heritage Center. If you look on the pictures here, it was pretty famous for the wheel stands it would do pretty much down the track. Bought it at a Barrett-Jackson auction years ago. I'm a Camaro guy as well. These are some really rare Camaros. This is a 1LE, red leather interior, beautiful car. Always got a kick out of the IROC Camaros. This car is very, very similar to the second car that I bought as a kid. It's a 1-year color, burnt orange. This happens to be a Z28. The car that I had was an SS396. But again, it was a purchase at a Barrett-Jackson auction and absolutely beautiful. This is a SEMA car that the performance company built for Eaton back in the day. I'm embarrassed to tell you how much money I have in this car, building it for SEMA. It's a 68 Camaro, but it's built on a C5 Corvette frame, has a C5 Corvette interior, and it was a big, big hit at the show. So this is kind of a special car from the standpoint that it's a Gremlin, it's a V8 Gremlin, and it's a Levi version of it. We always get a kick out of showing this car off at our charity events because it has the Levi interior with the pockets in the door. We actually got a visit from Supercar Blondie this year. Did some filming with her, and surprisingly enough, this was her favorite car in the collection. So this is a car that when it came out, I liked it a lot. It's a Zimmer Quicksilver. A lot of people don't even know what they are. They only built about 130 of them, and I think there might be 2 or 3 left. This one's in great shape. I bought it on Bring a Trailer, and everybody just loves this car when they see it. Also love Pontiacs over the years. We've got some great Pontiacs. This is a Grand Am, 4-speed, 400 cubic inch engine, Can-Am, a 2+2 Grand Prix. There's a GTO Judge down here. Again, these are my favorite Pontiacs. Along with Firebirds, these again were the ones that I liked best from back in the day. Down on the end is a black Hurst Lingenfelter Trans Am. Back in the day, you could go into a Pontiac dealer and order a Lingenfelter Hurst car. And I was pretty fortunate to find one. There aren't many of them left, but it's kind of one of the jewels in the collection. I really enjoy these cars. I was always an Opel GT fan. I had one as a teenager. This is about the best one I found. As most of you know, they rusted away and you can't find very many. This is also a car that came out in 1976. It's a Monza Mirage V8 engine. You'll notice the fat fenders and hood. Paint job is pretty unique, and I fell in love with this car back in 1976. They're very hard to find. About 1,000 of them were built. Again, they didn't hold up very well. They rusted away. So I found this one just a few years ago, and having looked for it since 1976, I was pretty pleased to finally add it to the collection. There are a number of unique cars here. This is a Tojan. They had planned to build about 1,100 of these. I think they only got about 100 of them built. It was a collaboration between some dealers in the upper Midwest to build a car that would compete with Lamborghini and Ferrari. It wasn't very successful, and I don't know if you'll ever see another one, but people, when they come through the collection, always get a kick out of seeing it. The Chevette, I know it's wasn't the best car in the world, but you'd be shocked at the number of people get a kick out of seeing a Chevette. And everybody knows I'm a Chevy guy, but we had to add a Pinto down there too to kind of round things off. I get a chance to attend a lot of the auctions around the country, and they're all great people. We enjoy every one of them. We bought a lot of cars from Dana Meekum over the years, and Dana's favorite charity is curing kids' cancer, so we've got a couple cars that we bought on this side that were as a result of that. This is a funny car that I bought at a Barrett-Jackson auction in West Palm Beach. It was sold by the Darrell Gwynn Foundation. Many of you know Darrell was quite a racer back in the day, and was in a horrendous accident, and as a result he created a foundation that basically helps build wheelchairs for people that can't afford them. This is one of the original 22 Greenwood Corvettes that were built and modified for the street. You know, there were a number of cars I had to build in order to justify racing, and so I found this car basically in a barn, had a tree growing through it, and was home for a number of rodents and beehives, but we got it restored, and it came out really, really nice. For whatever reason, I really got a kick out of the Greenwood design, and so we have one of 4 GTOs that were built. This car in the middle here, it won an award at Amelia Island. A lot of kids look at it, call it a Batmobile, but they built 4 turbos, 2 race cars, and 2 street cars, and this is one of the street cars. This is some of the products we build at Lingenfelter Performance Engineering, and we always make sure that we get a chance to tell people what we do in our business. The Camaro here is a Camaro we built last year. This is a ZL1 that has our 1,000 horsepower engine in it, runs on pump gas. It's an amazingly quick car. If you look hard, you'll notice it's got a roll cage in it because it continually runs the drag strip and makes passes in the 9.1s, 9.2s, 9.3s. And great, amazing performance package. It has the slicks and skinnies on it right now, but if we put the street wheels and tires on it, you could use it as a grocery getter. So it's a pretty amazing car. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's short and sweet. Believe me, there's a story behind every one of these cars in the collection, and if we took the time to do that, we'd be filming all day. So I am completely over the top when it comes to collecting cars, and a fanatic like you probably can't even imagine. But this will give you a little taste of what we have in the Lingenfelter collection, especially since we're all locked down these days. I want to thank Terry Cargis for letting me know about this. I hope you guys enjoy the video here, and I look forward to seeing you at another Checkered Flag or Petersen event. Thanks a lot.